Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, using the Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn, the shimmer on the box. Sorry about that. And for supportive oracle cards, oh, this is dusty. Oh my gosh, has it been that long since I've used you? Jeez. Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. I didn't even realize that was dusty. It has been on the shelf for quite a while. Well, there you go. Ooh, another double. Another double. Oh, that's interesting. I did Pisces just before this. That card, the health card, showed up in exactly the same spot for Pisces. That's it. There's one card snaking out of the bottom. Queen of Cups. There's another one. Jeez. It's just like, it's sitting there in a weird way. Eight of Wands. There's a delay. Definitely a delay. I'm feeling that right off the bat. And I can see that coming up. Nothing is lost, but something like, it's not a false start, but you're going to think it's a false start. That's what I have a feeling here. So let's keep that in mind. I have a feeling you're going to think something's a false start, but it's not. Something as good is coming your way, I think. It's all about not missing it, because I feel like you're not going to believe, you're going to think it just kind of passed you by, but it didn't. It's almost like, you know, a boomerang. It whips past you and you're just like, yeah, like you missed it, like, I missed it. Meanwhile, it's a boomerang. It's going to come back around and you don't realize, so don't get smacked in the back of the head with it. I'm just saying. I think it's coming back around. Don't get smacked in the back of the head. Really, James? Come on. Going into this situation, you're really trying to work on yourself. There's something that didn't go right in the past, and you don't like it. And it's one of those things where I feel like you're very empowered. I feel like you're very empowered, actually. I like it when somebody does this. So if this hits for you, this is a great thing, in my opinion. Looking at the history of whatever you've been going through, realizing there's a pattern, and going, you know what? I'm the common denominator in this pattern. It doesn't matter that I'm not intentionally creating something, but something keeps happening here, and I don't like it. So why is that happening, and what do I need to do about it? It's kind of like, it could be as simple as like, do I let certain people into my life that are just toxic, and why do I do that? Or do I overextend myself, and I seem to like invite people to use me, and why do I do that? It's like one of those things. Like either you're too giving. For a lot of you, you're too giving. It's right off the bat. For a lot of you, you're too giving. And you get very close to people, and you like people, and you bend over backwards, and then after a while, they expect you to not only bend over backwards, they want you to do a backward somersault and a flip and like serve them a sandwich on your toe. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you give, and then they expect you to give more, and they don't give you anything in return. I'm getting, some of you are definitely hitting with that. And I feel like you're looking back on that, like, how does this happen? I like to be a person who gives, but I also have to be a person who receives. Because that balance has to be there. If that balance is not there, one way or another, there's going to be a problem. Even if it's like maybe you physically have to create, like if you're helping somebody cook their dinner, and they physically can't do it, whatever reason, that's fine. But maybe they're a listener. Maybe when you need to talk things out, that's the balance. Maybe that's what they're giving back. They listen and help you through things, and they talk through things. Maybe that's what they give back to you. There has to be something where they give back, where you feel like you're getting something back. Not like you're not like doing a checks and balances thing, but like you give to them, they have to have an opportunity to give back. You know what I mean? Something like that. It doesn't have to be monetary. It doesn't have to be like that. But if you give of yourself, they have an opportunity to give back. And sometimes I know with very giving people, it can be hard to it can be hard to receive. It can be hard to let somebody have that opportunity to give back because you feel more comfortable giving rather than receiving. And maybe that's what you're looking at really closely. Like, you know what, maybe I have to set things up so people have more of a chance. Maybe I also have to not be over giving. Like, help somebody cook. And if they need to cook, great. But if they want you to cook and they want you to do the cleaning, do they need you to do the cleaning, or should somebody else do that? Or can they do a little bit more of that? You know what I mean? Sometimes people go overboard. And I feel like you're trying to walk away from this habit You're trying to like correct it. Not all. I know it's going to be different. There's something in the past. Some of you are going to be like, well, that's completely different connection. It's not like overgiving. Maybe it's something else where there's something in a pattern. Maybe you get caught up in chatty circles, and maybe things become a little bit more gossipy. And you're like, I don't know how I got caught up in this. It just gets away from me, and I find myself in the middle of these dramatic ridiculousness things. Yeah, that makes sense. English. Vocabulary. There we go. But you're like, I don't like that. Like, I don't know how I get caught up in this stuff. Situations get away from me. I end up in these massive dramas, and I don't like it. I don't understand how I do this to myself. And you're like, I'm gonna just, that's enough of that. I'm not gonna play this game anymore because I don't understand how it happens, but I don't want to be a part of it anymore. You got a lot of information coming toward you, a lot of different avenues for healing and to change this pattern. And you're very active, like, I'm going to have to... I'm getting like an alcoholic thing too, by the way. And if that's you, great. If it's not, great. It's not going to be for everybody, I get that. But if you're a person that you've had problems with alcohol in the past and you're realizing this, at this point you realize this and you're taking ownership of that, good for you. Because I'm feeling you're getting you have a lot of different avenues of support. And I feel like you're also looking at the history of your situation. You're like, you're owning it. You're owning it, and you're saying, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I don't know who that's for, but whoever it is, like, kudos to you, because I don't know how long it's been. Because I'm feeling like there's somebody who's having a real problem with alcohol and been denying it for years, and they're finally seeing it. And it's a hard moment because you're looking back like, I've created a lot of problems for myself based off of that. And you're making that choice to make it better. I think that's an awesome thing. I feel like some of you would be like, yeah, well, I didn't screw you over, so you don't know what that's... So it may be okay for you, but there's a lot of people I hurt that don't want anything to do with me. But you're going to make it better from here forward. So if that is you, realize you're going the right direction. You are going to make your life better. People have problems. It's standing up and correcting them that makes the difference, and you're doing well. For whoever that's hitting for, I don't know who it is, but I feel like somebody out there needs to hear that. You're making a great step forward. Keep going. If it's some other substance or something else where you're walking away from something you were doing that was really harmful, good for you. Just keep going. Somebody that makes sense for. I'm just like, I'm getting a surge of positive energy. Like, there's a lot of pride behind this. Like, people believe in you from the other side. I don't know what it's about. Somebody wants you to know, you know what, you're standing up. It doesn't matter how beat up you've been. I know how bloody and horrible you feel, and you're thinking you're never going to heal from certain things and people are never going to forgive you. It's okay. We will. If they don't, we'll find other people for you to gravitate to. Just keep walking. Please just keep going. Because I'm feeling the High Priestess here for you in the environment. I'm feeling like this is a divine energy saying, just keep going. I don't know where that... All of a sudden that just took right over. And it's just kind of like, listen, you've got this far. You stood up. Just keep walking. Trust us. We will help you. This will work. You will be okay. Just all we need you to do is keep walking. Whew, that's a lot. That's a lot of energy. So I don't know how for many that's going to hit for, but whatever that is, there's something where you're identifying, I don't like something in the past. I want this pattern to change. You're owning it. You're like, I need to control this. Nobody can fix this for me. I'm going to fix this for me. And it's hard, but you're doing it. You're doing it. You're like, I'm not going to do that behavior anymore. Okay, so, okay. You hit a good spot. You should be hitting a good spot. For some of you, you're just going into this. I get that. You got harmony coming in. You got environment where the confidence is coming in. You're feeling good. You're having confidence. You're doing well. This is in the environment. This is a little concerning. This is a card where it's very tricky. It depends on what's going on around you. I feel people are caught up in their own situations in this. I feel somebody caught up in their own situation. Be careful of other people making callous remarks. Don't invest in those remarks. Because I often see people, they have their own insecurities, and sometimes they push those off on other people without realizing it. So just be careful like what you absorb from other people. Even though you're doing well at this moment, I just feel like just be careful what you absorb from other people. Don't let yourself get caught up in situations where it becomes very difficult for you to stay out of a pattern that you want to stay out of. Because I feel like there's something here with this energy it just seems very somebody caught up in their own life, and they're pulling you towards something that makes it more difficult for you to keep on this better path. And they're not trying to sabotage you, but they're very careless. And I don't want to say careless. They're just not thinking about what you're going through. They're not understanding. It's not registering that, like, they're pulling you towards something that's going to be difficult for you. So be careful of that. Because what I'm getting here is you might have a moment here where things feel really shaky, but I feel like you're still going to do well. There's a moment here where you're making this really strict choice. It's very interesting to me because I think you're succeeding, but you're seeming to beat yourself up about it. So I'm kind of confused. Let's just go a little farther. You're feeling like there's the weight of the world on you at this point. Whatever you're trying to get away from, this moment is coming forward where the weight of the world is on you. And whatever that pattern you were a part of before, and even if it's as simple as giving too much, you're walking away from it. I know but the Eight of Swords is like you feel like that's the only thing you can do. So for example, if there's a situation here where somebody wants you to give, you might walk away from it. I don't think that's bad for this situation because you're recalibrating your balance. I don't think this is bad at all. It's one of those situations where you don't think you're ready. And it's one of those things where you're thinking, I can't really do it. Whatever the situation is, it's like you can give a little help, but you're knowing that they're going to need a lot more than a little, and that you're going to have a hard time saying no. So you're stepping out. And you're feeling like that's the only choice you have. For other people, if it's a substance thing, the substance is around. It may be okay for other people, but you're like, I can't do this. And you're knowing that. Because health is overriding the whole situation. You're leaving. You're aware that, and I feel like that may be the thing. You have to. You're just like, all right. For some other people, I'm getting something else. Like, whatever the situation is, like, it's like the situation is walking away. Something is like walking away from you. And there's nothing you can do about it, but it's not a bad thing. I don't understand how that adds into the rest of this reading. I'm literally feeling somebody walking away, and it seems to be upsetting you, but you have to let that person walk away. This might be another thing that's kind of, I don't understand how that fits. It's I don't know, it's there, so there it is. You have to let it happen. Either you're walking away or somebody else is, and you have to let it happen. The Death card is telling me this is like your gateway. You are committed to the point where you are not allowing that pattern to come back. You may have overcome that pattern. It's a general read, I know that. But I'm saying you may have overcome a pattern because you're not allowing a pattern to start again. And you're at the point where you're not allowing it to start again. Now you're going to go into the phase about, all right, now that I'm not letting that pattern start again, how do I reconstitute this situation to where, like, for whatever it is, how do I get back involved in life to where that's not going to be a problem? And I feel like this is like you got the Ten of Swords after, like, something about this really, like, it's really heavy for you. It's really hard for you. And it bothers you for like a week or so after, like, almost like if it was a substance thing, like you feel like you can't hang out with your friends anymore because they're always around that substance, and you're like, it's devastating to you. Like, is that the price of this? I can't be around these people anymore. I have to find new friends. For other people, it could be the giving thing. In the sense of, like, you feel bad, you feel really guilty that you didn't help. And it bothers you. But at the same time, you know you can't get involved with that. You're beating yourself up. I feel that you're beating yourself up. Like, you're doing really well, but you're going through this metamorphosis where you have to come to terms with, like, wait a minute, what does this change mean? Now that I've walked away from that or I've disconnected, like, what does that mean? What do I do from here forward? Because I feel like you're very strong with this sense, like, this is how it has to be. I can't do that other stuff. Whew. It ends really well. Something in the environment balances off for you. You got victory and you got fertility. Fertility, especially with the victory, I feel like, for example, if you have a connection with a substance and the people you're used to hanging out with are constantly with that substance, whatever it is, legal or not legal, whatever it is, then there's going to be an option here for you to find other people to hang out with. You don't have to end any friendships. You just, when they're doing that, you just don't hang out with them. I feel like those friendships will naturally just fade. Other friendships are going to come in. For the giving thing, this is interesting. I feel like you're starting to gravitate around people who I feel like you're gravitating towards giving people, which I think is very interesting. Because I'm seeing victory and fertility here. For if it's the giving thing, like where you overgive and like I can't do it this time, you're now gravitating to people who want to give to you, and it's making you really uncomfortable. It's not bad. It's just kind of funny because people want to be giving and gracious to you, and it makes you feel strange. You're just like, this is not how I usually do this, and like you're fighting to give back to them, and it's like almost like a battle of who can give more. And the thing is, they're gonna call you out on it. They're like, stop giving me all this stuff. I don't need it, and you're gonna be like, well, I don't need all that either. And it's almost like you're helping somebody else also realize like overgiving is not a good thing. So you're attracted to somebody else who wants to give. That's very helpful. That's very great. I think that's going to be a wonderful thing. I like how that's working out. That kind of makes me laugh because it's just like, here, you take this. No, you take that. No, you take this. No, but don't you want this cake? Well, don't you want these cookies? How about this ice cream? How about this pound cake? Like, it's almost like who can give more. It's kind of funny. It makes me laugh. It's like, no, you should have this. You want a diamond? I want you want a pearl? What do you want? Take $5. No, you take $10. No, you take 15. No, you take 20. Like, it goes back and forth. It's funny. That's what I'm feeling here is like, who can give more? I think that's... Like, to watch that, I think would be very comical. Things are going... You're restabilizing with another group of people, I feel like, for most of you. I don't know what that means. This might be like a work connection, too. I don't know. There's a weird feel here. Like, whatever that is, whatever this is balancing, for some of you, maybe it's a relationship, you're coming into something that's very stable, that's going to help you move forward. This is not only, like it feels like you're doing very well in ending that last pattern. This is stabilizing a replacement for that pattern. So it's like you've taken out that pattern. You've taken out that block from the puzzle. Like, we're no longer going to use this. And instead of just a vacant spot waiting for something to come in, now something else is there. So that can't come back because there's something else in its spot. And now you're cementing that in, so that's going to stay. This new, better pattern is going to stay. This more healthier pattern. And I feel like you realize that it's foreign to start with. It's foreign. So it's going to take you a while to really get comfortable with it, is what I'm getting. But it's also the wisdom card on your side is like, you know that it's for the better. Like, you completely understand why it's uncomfortable, but that it's a good thing. You're like, I get it. You're like, I get it. I know. It's going to take me a while. So... You're just kind of getting used to it. I feel like this is ending really good, too. I feel like this is really ending good. I feel like this is like an upswing for your life. I feel like this is good. I feel like this is really good. And we're done. Okay. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.